All right, we are live. What's up, guys? We got a 9-game slate to go over. Looking to be a pretty good one. So, as always, we'll do the normal schedule here of. Let me just exit out of this. Of going over the news, what we know so far. We can go over the over/unders and spreads for all the games, and then we can get to the prices at the end. Also, got my DeMontis the bonus shirt on. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I picked this one up last year. Him and Montrezl Harrell. Just because they won me so much money last year, I got both those guys' shirts. So wearing the Sabonis shirt today. He's severely underpriced. I really like him today. I like a lot of the Pacers guys, but yeah. Before we get into the prices, let's go over what we know so far. Hell, we can just go to Fantasy Labs. It's probably easier. So some of the stuff is for Tuesday, but there is some big news that I've already talked about. Let's see. Okay, so as far as the Indiana guys, Jeremy Lamb ruled out, TJ McConnell ruled out, and I believe I saw Malcolm Brogdon ruled out as well. What else? Kevin Love's out, so that was pretty big. You guys knew if I watched my video, I was already on Tristan Thompson. Now with Kevin Love out, I think Tristan Thompson's probably the most popular player on the slate, but for good reason. I mean, he's going to be asked to play big minutes. There's a lot of usage to go around for that Cavs offense with no Kevin Love, so really like Tristan Thompson. I'll talk about some secondary Cavs pieces in a bit too. Larry Nance also out as well, so again, a lot of minutes to go around. Wiggins is doubtful, so we can look to Teague and Covington, probably get a boost. Kyrie is out as well, so that's huge to a guy like Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he's going to be one of the more popular plays in the slate, again, but for good reason. And then what else do we got? So Kevin Porter Jr. is starting for Kevin Love. He's a viable, cheap option, but not a guy I'm like super high on. And then a lot of this stuff is for Tuesday for these Pelicans guys, which are all questionable again. Okay, so this is just coming out now for the Rockets guys. Capella will start, and same with Daniel House. So Daniel House, I kind of like his price as well. We'll talk about that in a bit. But let's go over the over-unders and the spreads here. So Cavs Knicks is sitting at 210 with the Knicks favored by 5.5. Hornets Raptors at 214 with the Raptors favored by 8.5. Pacers Nets at 214 with the Nets favored by 2. Bucks Bulls at 231 with the Bucks favored by 9. Trailblazers Rockets at 230 with the Rockets favored by 7.5. Spurs Mavs at 224.5 with the Mavs favored by 5. Celtics Suns at 227 with the Suns favored by 3.5. And then Jazz T-Wolves at 219 with the Jazz favored by 9.5. And the late night hammer here is OKC and the Clippers sitting at 222 with the Clippers favored by 9. We're still waiting on Kawhi Leonard news as well as Pat Beverly. But, okay, let's go team by team here, and then we can get to questions at the end. So we'll start with the Cavs. Again, Tristan Thompson, I think he's going to be one of probably the most popular player on the slate here at 5.6K. I liked him with no Kevin Love. Now without Kevin Love, I really think he's kind of a free square. He's going to play 35 or so minutes in a close game. The Knicks is a pretty solid matchup too. They run big. So again, I think Tristan Thompson is going to be asked to play big minutes. I really like him. Probably one of my favorite plays of the day there at 5.6K. As far as the secondary pieces, I think some of these guys are viable. Sexton's okay. He's just too scoring dependent for me. Clarkson might get a little extra run off the bench. I think he's more in play for GPPs. A guy like C.D. Osman I am kind of considering here at 4.1K. I know he's been not great this year, but with no Kevin Love, there's just a lot of minutes and usage to go around. I think C.D. Osman's a guy that may play like 35 or so minutes and will get some extra usage. And we saw he does have upside last year. Like he did flash it a bit. So he's someone I'm definitely considering here as a cheap range. I think he goes actually pretty low owned. I think he goes a little bit more forgotten about. Guys like Garland, Kevin Porter Jr., I think they're okay. I think they're a bit riskier on this slate. So we could also look to a guy like Zizic. He's not starting, but will play the backup 5. I don't think Tristan Thompson's going to play the whole game. I think probably 35 or so minutes, and maybe Zizic gets like 13. Can he get you in that time? Sure. But I think that's only like a GPP play. You're kind of banking on maybe Tristan Thompson gets in foul trouble. But that's really it for the Cavs. It's really Tristan Thompson for me. I really like him. And then I'm kind of considering C.D. Osman as well as a cheap play. And that's kind of it. So let's move on to the Knicks. The Knicks, some guys seem a bit underpriced here, like Julius Randle, Marcus Morris, and R.J. Barrett, kind of their big three. All seem a bit underpriced. I don't mind Randle. The concern was he only played 26 minutes in the last game against the Hornets. I think that's partly because Mitchell Robinson and Bobby Portis were playing well off the bench. Normally he's going to play 35 or so minutes in a close game, so don't mind Randle there in the mid-range. Marcus Morris and Barrett seem a bit underpriced as well. As far as the other guys, not really considering them. Like Mitchell Robinson has been good off the bench, but he's a guy that just gets in foul trouble so much on this slate. I don't think I will have to go there. Taj Gibson, the Mets have been down on him. I also don't think we have to go there. Again, it's a lot of these secondary pieces. It's just so hard to trust with David Fizdale as their coach. So really, I'm only considering those main three guys, and that's kind of it for the Knicks. As far as Hornets, Raptors, on the Charlotte side, honestly, there's not a whole lot I'm excited about. We got Batum back. We got Dwayne Bacon back as well. There's just everyone is healthy now. I think the guys I would consider would be Terry Rozier here at 6.3K. I think he can still get you there at that price. Cody Zeller at 5.1. The Mets have been a bit up and down, but if he hits that higher end, wouldn't mind it. But that's honestly really it. I think it's kind of Rozier and Zeller, and that's all I'm really considering on the Charlotte side. As far as Toronto goes, it's kind of the two main guys I'm considering here with Siakam and Fred VanVleet. It's a great spot. There is some blowout risk, but if this game stays close, Fred VanVleet and Siakam will both play 40-plus minutes, and I think they're really safe for their prices. I think I would slightly lean towards VanVleet just at a discounted price tag, but both Siakam and Fred VanVleet I'm considering there. Marc Gasol is just no upside in that price, in my opinion. Norman Powell's a bit expensive, but he's viable. Again, a little bit more scoring dependent. RHJ and Boucher with OJ and Anunoby back. It's just I don't think I want to go there. The minutes on Boucher have been down too, so yeah, it's kind of a pass from the other guys. It's really Siakam and Fred VanVleet, and that's kind of it for Toronto. As far as the Pacers go, so there is a lot to like here. This is the team I'm the highest on in this slate. It's just a great spot here against the Nets. We got no Brogdon, no Jeremy Lamb, also no TJ McConnell, so there is a lot of minutes to go around for those guards, guys. So first we'll talk about the cheap guys, the guards. So the Holiday brothers with Aaron and Justin. I think obviously Aaron has a bit more upside. He's probably going to play 35 or so minutes in a close game. We know the Pacers always give their starters big minutes, so I think he's very viable. I think he goes a bit lower owned on the slate. Justin Holiday is a lower usage guy, but still should play probably 35 or so minutes in a close game. I think he's a viable cheap option. Again, just doesn't have huge upside. He will have a big game every once in a while, but he's a lower usage guy. TJ Warren is someone I'm considering, but I think it's a bit more for GPPs just because he's so scoring dependent. Again, it's a good spot. But he doesn't really do a whole lot on the peripheral side, so I think he's more suited for GPPs. As far as the bigs, man, I'm all over both. I love Sabonis here at 7.3K, coming back from that hip injury. In close games, he's going to play 35-plus minutes. This is a great spot. In that game against Brooklyn earlier, he put up almost 50 fantasy points. I don't know what they were thinking with this price at 7.3K, so I'm all over Sabonis here. One of my favorite plays of the day. Obviously, again, got the Sabonis shirt on. And same with Miles Turner. I like both bigs a lot here. Both the Pacers starters just play huge minutes. He's going to play 35-plus minutes in a close game. This is a great spot. So Turner, Sabonis, I love them both. I really think you can play both in your lineup too. So I'm high on a lot of these Pacers guys. It's Sabonis, it's Turner, it's TJ Warren for GPPs, and the Holiday brothers are definitely viable as cheap options as well. So yeah, I do like a lot here on the Pacers side. As far as the Brooklyn side, it's kind of one guy I'm considering, and that's it, and that's Dinwiddie. I think he's going to be one of the most popular plays in the slate with no Kyrie Irving. In a close game, he's going to play 35 or so minutes. He's going to be their go-to guy, so I do really like him here at 6K. As far as the secondary pieces like DeAndre Jordan, Jarrett Allen, no one I'm super excited about. I mean, Joe Harris did have a big game that last time out, but he's a guy that normally is a bit more scoring dependent. I don't think I want to chase that 44 fantasy point game. Torian Prince is okay. Garrett Temple's okay. They will use guys off the bench like Penson, Musa, but Claxton. It's just no one really sticks off the page to me besides a guy like Dinwiddie. So really for me, it's Dinwiddie that I'm considering, and that's kind of it on the net side. Then we get to Portland, Houston. This one should be a good game as well. Should be great to watch. On the Portland side, I do like a good amount. Mainly the big three here with Lillard, McCollum, and Whiteside. So Lillard and McCollum, normally when there's a big price difference, that's when I consider CJ. But now it's getting close to where, they're only $1,000 difference. So I'm going to lean towards the Lillard over CJ. I'm not saying I don't like CJ. I just think I prefer Lillard. Normally in big games, he steps it up in the big games. This is a huge game against Houston. Houston plays at a fast pace, so I do really like the discounted price here at Damian Lillard in a great spot. If you want to go CJ for the savings, you can. Again, I'm just going to slightly lean towards Lillard, but both definitely viable. And same thing with Whiteside here. If he hits that higher end of the minutes threshold, if he hits 35 or so, he could crush that salary. The thing that I'm considering is I really like Tristan Thompson and I really like Miles Turner. So there's the 2 center spots in my lineup. And the third guy that I would consider is Whiteside. So those are the 3 centers I'm considering. I really like Turner, I really like Tristan Thompson, and I really like Whiteside. Right now, for me, Whiteside's the odd man out in my lineup, but I'm scared. Like, I think Whiteside could crush that salary, so do really like him as well. The secondary pieces, Carmelo not active yet. A guy like Little's getting a little extra run. Don't think we have to go there. Bazemore, Hood. I think there's better value plays. So it's really Lillard, CJ, and Whiteside, and I do like those 3 a good amount here in a great pace-up spot against Houston. As far as the Rockets go, you can get to James Harden if you want, if you feel comfortable with the salary. Right now with my build, I kind of like the mid-tier build. I think there's a lot of guys that I like in that, I don't know, like 6 to 8K range. So Harden on this slate, again, you can definitely go there. He has huge upside. It's just not going to be the way that I go personally, but I'm not saying you can't go there. Now, Westbrook's a guy I think goes a bit lower owned, actually. Just from what I've been listening to, I think everyone's going to be on a guy like Luka Doncic, who is underpriced, and I'm not going to lie. I'm a bit scared that I'm fading Doncic, but man, the price here at 8.3K, you got it. Guys are definitely doing recency bias, right? Westbrook's been bad. He's been getting in foul trouble a lot, though, and this is the lowest price we will ever get on him. Early in the season, he's putting 50-plus every single night, and this is a pace-up spot. Lillard, CJ, not great defenders, so I do like Westbrook a good amount. He's been shooting terribly, too. 6 of 20, 5 of 21. I'm just going to buy on the talent here because we know Russell Westbrook is not an AK player. So he's someone I really like tonight. I'll be buying low, and I think he actually goes maybe a bit lower owned because from what I'm hearing, I hear a lot of people talking about Doncic. I think Doncic is going to be pretty popular, so that makes me think Westbrook might go a bit lower owned, but I love buying low on guys. So I really like Westbrook there. I'm going to take Westbrook over Harden just with the 4K difference. Now, if they're similar priced, obviously I would go Harden, but I really like the price tag here on Westbrook. Capella at 7.7K, he's just playing huge minutes. This is his first game back from that concussion. I think he's viable, but again, I like Miles Turner more, I like Tristan Thompson more, and I like Whiteside more for their prices. So Capella's okay, but I prefer those 3 centers a bit more. As far as the cheap options, a guy like Danuel House, I actually kind of like here at 3.7K. Normally, he's a guy I don't really get to, but this is a really cheap price tag for him at 3.7K. In a close game, I think he plays 35 or so minutes, maybe a bit more. And look, before he got injured, he was 5.3K, right? He's putting up like 25 to 35 a night. Now he's 3.7K. Now he is a guy that is a bit more scoring dependent. Obviously playing alongside Harden and Westbrook takes a hit to his usage, but at this price point, I do like him a good amount. It's a cheap play, so definitely someone I'm considering. The other options is kind of a stay away, like Macklemore, Austin Rivers, with House back. Don't want to go there. PJ Tucker's okay, but again, doesn't have huge upside, and that's really it. So, it's Harden if you want to get there. Obviously, he has huge upside. I like Westbrook a good amount of that price. I like Danuel House a good amount at 3.7K. As far as Milwaukee, Chicago, so really, for me, can you go with these like cheaper options like DiVincenzo, Matthews, Connaughton, George Hill, Kyle Korver? You can go there, but again, they just have so many guys, even with Middleton out, that no one really sticks off the page. So if I was going to play one of those cheap guys, I think it would be DiVincenzo just because he played like 24 minutes in the last one, but no one I'm honestly super excited about. I think like 1 or 2 of these guys could have a big game with DiVincenzo, Sterling Brown, George Hill, Wes Matthews, Connaughton, even Ilyasova. Or Korver, I think like 1 or 2 of those guys can have a big game, but it's just too hard to decipher, and they just have a lot of guys. So no one I'm super high on as far as the value guys. The 2 main guys at the top, obviously, I really like with Giannis and Bledsoe. It's just, do you think Chicago can keep this game close? If you do, I think Giannis can have a big game. But again, my initial build right now with my roster, I like the mid-tier build because I like a lot of those guys in the 6 to 8K range. So the stars and the scrubs approach is normally the way I go for NBA lineups, but on this slate, I think I'm going to go more to the mid-tier. So not saying you don't play Giannis. I think he has huge upside. It's just, do you feel comfortable enough with some of the value on the slate? If you do, you can go definitely plug Giannis in. Bledsoe is, I think, a bit underpriced right now for his level of production. He's going to play 30 or so minutes in a close game, and I think he's a little bit underpriced. So him and Giannis, definitely considering on the Milwaukee side. As far as Chicago goes, I think there are a couple interesting plays. No one I'm super high on, but Levine seems a bit underpriced here at 6.9K. Again, we know he's going to shoot the ball a ton, so I just like the price on him. Wendell Carter Jr. too is interesting. The minutes have been a bit up and down, but if he hits that higher end, if he plays like 35 or so, I kind of like him. So he's someone I'm considering as well. Lauri Markkanen's okay. Again, these Bulls starters seem a bit underpriced. But those are kind of the three guys I'm considering really, and that's it. So it's Markkanen, it's Wendell Carter Jr., and it's LaVine, just because of their price tags. I think one, maybe two of those guys could have a pretty big game. So I'm definitely considering those big three there for Chicago, but that's really it. On the San Antonio side, honestly, there's nothing. It's a pretty good spot, but they're a pretty balanced team now. Like the one guy I would consider probably would be Aldridge, just because he has flashed a bit of upside recently. But yeah, on this slate, it's probably not for me. DeRozan, don't want to go there. I mean, DeJounte Murray for GPPs is okay. It's just, yeah, it's kind of a stay away on the San Antonio side. As far as the Dallas side goes, so this is where I think I'm going to differentiate myself from the chalk. So I think Luka Doncic is going to be one of the most popular spend-ups of the slate for good reason, right? He's underpriced at 9.8K. The matchup, the Spurs actually aren't like that great defensively this year. They're playing a bit, faster pace. So Doncic at a 9.8K is really appealing. So I think he's going to be one of the most popular plays of the night. I think he's safe. For cash games, you go Doncic. Again, me personally, I'm not going there, and I don't feel great about it. Like I'm very scared about fading Doncic at this price. It's just my build right now. I like the Westbrook play. I like Lillard. So I'm leaning more towards that mid-tier build. So Doncic is someone I'm not on, but I'm really scared about. So again, if you're playing cash games, he's really safe here at 9.8K. I think he's going to be one of the most popular plays in the slate for good reason. Porzingis seems a bit underpriced as well. I think he goes a lot lower owned just because everyone will be going Doncic and, not a lot of people will go Porzingis. So I think he's an interesting GPP play. As far as the other guys on the Mavs, it's a stay away. They're a very balanced team other than that. So it's really Doncic as a cash game play. Porzingis is the GPP pivot, and that's it for Dallas. So now we get to the last three games. Minnesota. So with no Wiggins, there's a lot of usage to go around, right? Towns obviously will pick up a bit more. It's a tougher match here against Gobert, but again, there's a lot of minutes and usage to go around. Now, guys like Teague and Covington, I'm considering. It's a tough spot, but these guys should play like 30 or so minutes in a close game. So Teague and Covington are very viable in the mid-range. The other options like Layman, Culver, Koji are okay, but I think I'd rather just pay a little bit more for Covington and Teague. And that's really it. So Teague, Covington, and Towns on the Minnesota side. As far as the Utah side, you got to consider Gobert. He's not my favorite play just because of the price. Again, I like Tristan Thompson more. I like Miles Turner more, and I like Whiteside more. But he's been great. The matchup's good, too, against Towns. Not a good defender. The concern is the foul trouble risk, but he's been playing really well. Donovan Mitchell, kind of like him at 7.9K. Again, it's a good spot here against Minnesota. I think he does have some upside. So, it's really Donovan Mitchell that I really like. Conley, Bogdanovich, Ingles, they're just okay. The Jazz just never excite me as far as DFS purposes. So, it's kind of Donovan Mitchell. I think Gobert's okay, but I prefer other centers. As far as Boston, Phoenix, so this game, it's kind of a stay away. Both teams pretty solid defensively. No one really sticking out the page for me on the Boston side. The Kemba, Jalen, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, they all seem priced about right. I think one of these bigs could have a big game with like Cantor or Tice. I think I'll slightly lean towards Cantor, but the minutes have been down on him. So honestly, there's not a whole lot I'm liking here on the Boston side. As far as the Phoenix side, kind of the same thing. Like it's a tough matchup. I think these are guys only would be guys I'm considering like the late slate, like Booker, Rubio, Oubre. They're just okay. It's a tough spot, and I just don't think we have to go there in this slate. So honestly, this game in general is kind of a stay away. I mean, Baines, you could look there in a revenge game, but again, I like Turner more, I like Tristan Thompson more, and I like Whiteside more as the centers. Last game of the night is OKC and the Clippers. So there is some interesting plays here on the OKC side. It's a revenge game for Chris Paul, Gallinari, and SGA. All seem a bit underpriced. I think my favorite play on the OKC side would be Chris Paul. The minutes, again, have been a bit up and down, but it is a revenge game. The price is pretty appealing here, so I don't mind him. If Pat Beverly misses, that's obviously a boost to him. So I think one or two of these guys are the main three with Chris Paul, Gallinari, SGA could have a big game. Again, if they're going to keep this close, I think a couple of those guys will have to have a big game. Schroeder for tournaments is okay. Steven Adams is just okay at that price. But really, it's those big three, and I think Chris Paul would probably be my favorite play on the OKC side. I do like the price tag on him. As far as the Clippers go, so there are a couple unknowns right now. We don't know the status of Kawhi Leonard. He's questionable. And we don't know the status of Pat Beverly. Now, if everyone plays for the Clippers, if Pat Beverly and Kawhi Leonard play, it's kind of just a stay away from me, unless you're considering like the late slate. But if both those guys miss, then I think Paul George becomes a really intriguing play here at 8.1K. And I think this is going to be interesting because if Kawhi Leonard doesn't get ruled out until like 30 minutes before lock, then I think Paul George actually goes a bit lower owned just because a lot of the guys played in the earlier games, so there wouldn't be a lot of pivots. So if you want to make a build with Paul George in the lineup and kind of just pray that Kawhi's out, I think that wouldn't be the worst idea because I think he goes a bit lower owned if Kawhi doesn't get rolled out until like 30 minutes before lock, just because there won't be a lot of options to pivot to. So again, this is a standalone game with like an hour and a half before or an hour and a half after. So that's why I think Paul George can go a bit lower owned. But if your guys making multiple lineups, definitely throw Paul George in there in one or a few and just hope that Kawhi Leonard misses. If he does, Paul George could crush that salary. Lou Williams and Montrez, those would be guys I would look to if Kawhi and Beverly miss. But other than that, it's kind of a stay away. So that's really it as far as the breakdown. Let me check my phone here, see if we got any more news, and then we can get to questions here. We do have a lot of time, so yeah, we got about 25 minutes until lock. Tyson Chandler ruled out. He sucked. Whatever. Yeah, so Westbrook, Harden. Let me tweet this out. But yeah, that's really it. So let's get to some questions here. Oh, this was or Brian Chalk. You tried comment. Oh wait. Oh, you guys talking about NFL? Okay, so but yeah, if you guys are enjoying the live streams, I would appreciate if you guys can hit that like button. We're over 100 viewers, so thank you guys for going to check out the stream. Again, feel free to post questions in the chat. RJ Barrett or PJ Washington. I think about RJ Barrett there. Not like super high in either of those guys, but Barrett is at a discounted price at 5.6K. The minutes have been a bit down on him, like he's not playing the 40 minutes a night, but I think he's viable here at a discounted price. So I would go Barrett over PJ Washington. Sneaky Sabonis could be so solid. Like, I think he goes a bit lower owned tonight. I just love the price there at 7.3K. Again, I think a lot of people are going to go Doncic, and it's just like, it's going to be a different build. So I like more of the mid-tier build. Sabonis, Turner, Tristan Thompson, Westbrook, Lillard. I like those guys in that price range. So Westbrook, Aaron Holiday, House, Sabonis, Thompson, Dinwiddie, Porzingis, Miles Turner. Yeah, that's really similar to mine. I like a lot of those guys. Turner, Whiteside, salary don't matter. I'm going to go Turner, but it's really close. I like my three centers that I'm considering tonight are Miles Turner, Tristan Thompson, and Hassan Whiteside. And the odd man out right now is Whiteside for me, but I don't feel great about it. I think Whiteside could have a big night. So it's those three centers I'm considering. SGA or Chris Paul. I'm going to slightly lean towards Chris Paul, but it's close. I think one or two of those guys with SGA, Chris Paul, and Gallinari could have a big game. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. Porzingis or Randall. That's close. I like the price on both those guys a decent amount. Randall's at 6.6. Porzingis is at, 7.5? That's really close. I think the upside's obviously a bit higher on Porzingis, but I do like the price on Randall. I guess I would go Porzingis just because, again, I think the upside's a bit higher on him, but I like both those guys at their prices. Do you think the Milwaukee-Chicago game blows out? I think it could. What's the hold on, give me 1 sec. What's the over-under and the spread in that one? Let's see. Setting it at 9-point spread, so there's a decent chance. I mean, I'm fading the game. I don't feel great about it because there are a couple good spots, like obviously Giannis and Bledsoe, and then those three Chicago guys. So I'm hoping for the blowout just because I'm going another way, but there's definitely a chance it could stay close. Fred VanVleet, Tatum, or Porzingis, price doesn't matter. I think Fred VanVleet's your cash game play, and then Porzingis is the GPP play. Fred VanVleet's going to play 40 minutes in a close game, so you got to like him. Then Porzingis, I like him at a discounted price, so I think Fred VanVleet for cash, Porzingis for GPPs. What about Marc Gasol? Hornets so bad against center. Gasol always been better at home in Toronto. Marc Gasol just really seems like a shell of his former self. I just don't see the upside on him, honestly. Like, can he get you 30 to 35? I think that's the high end of what he can get you, but yeah. It's just okay. It's just not my most exciting play. Thoughts on Marcus Morris? I think he's more suited for GPPs. Again, I think one or two of those guys with Morris, Barrett, and RJ Randall will have a pretty big game. Morris is a guy a bit up and down, but we know the upside is there. He's got 40, 50 fantasy point upside. It's a pretty solid matchup. So I think Morris Morris is more suited for GPPs, but I don't mind the price at all there. Kobe White, solid play. He's been playing really well. I think he's at 5.3K. Yeah, I think he's playable. Again, he's been playing last 3 games, 37, 44, 37 fantasy points. He's been shooting the ball a lot too, 8 of 14, 9 of 23, 3 of 13. So he's definitely viable. I think I would slightly prefer the starters for Chicago, like Levine, Markkanen, and Wendell Carter Jr., but Kobe White's still viable as a GPP play. Any interest in Nasir Little? Not really. He's just a very low usage guy. I personally would rather pay the extra $400 for a guy like Danuel House. Let's see. Levine will keep Bulls in it. Yeah, I think I like Levine's price a good amount. Really like Dinwiddie with Kyrie out. Yeah, I think Dinwiddie's going to be really popular. Obviously, he's at a discounted price. I think he's a really safe play. Royce O'Neal, Scal, or Gibson. Man, I'm not really high on any of those guys. Let's see what Royce O'Neal's minutes have been like. He's a very low usage guy. Scal with Whiteside backs, not going to play huge minutes. And then what was the other option? Gibson. I guess give me Taj, but again, I don't feel great about it. If he plays like 20 to 25 minutes, he can possibly get you there, but I wouldn't go with any of those guys. I really think there's better value on the slate. Yeah, no doubt the Gasol's been bad. House is way too cheap, right? Yeah, I like Danuel House a good amount. Like I said, he was 5.3K before he got injured, and now he's at 3.7K. And he's starting. I think he probably plays 30 to 35 minutes in a close game. So I do like him a good amount at that price. The concern is he is a bit scoring dependent, but I think he's probably safe to get you like 20 to 25 fantasy points with a little bit more upside. So I do like him a good amount as a cheap option. Top center tonight, DK. Probably Tristan Thompson, but the 3 centers I really like are Tristan Thompson, Miles Turner, and Whiteside. It's a really close call. I think you probably play 2 of those 3. I currently have Tristan Thompson and Miles Turner in my lineup, but yeah, those are the 3 I'm considering. I think Tristan Thompson probably the top play. Kevin Porter Jr. is cheap options. It's no Kevin Love. I think he's viable. He's at 3.3K. Yeah, he's a bit unknown because he's a rookie, right? A bit kind of lower usage guy, but he is playable at that price. I honestly might take a shot here on CD Osman at 4.1K. Just because we know the upside was there with him last year. With no Kevin Love, there's a lot of usage around. I know he's been bad, but he's someone I might take a shot on. I'm not going to feel great about it, but I'm also considering CD Osman as well as a cheap play. Layman or Kaminsky? Let's see. I mean, Layman will get more run with Wiggins out. He's been playing really solid minutes, 33, 29, 28, 36 minutes. Normally, he's kind of a lower usage guy, a bit scoring dependent, right? Like 16. He doesn't really get a lot of peripheral stats, so it's a tougher matchup. I'm not super high on him or Kaminsky. And the minutes with the bigs, for the Phoenix bigs have been a bit up and down. Like, if Baines is playing well, they'll give Baines more minutes. If Kaminsky's playing well, they'll give Kaminsky more minutes. So I guess give me Kaminsky, but those 2 I'm not like super high on. Who's good choice around 4.6K? I'm stuck with a guard and a forward. 4.6K, let's see. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't like a lot of these guys in this price range. Yeah, there's like 4.6K and below. Not super high on Zubac. Bobby Portis it's David Fizdale's his coach. If he gets like 25 minutes, I would like him, but it's just the minutes are all over the place. Like Powell, not really super high on him. Green, not really. Garrett Temple's okay with no Kyrie, but I don't think he has huge upside. Yeah, this is a tough price range where, I mean, Okogie, if he plays at 4.3K, is okay. Justin Holiday, don't mind. I guess go Justin Holiday. He's a very low usage guy, but he should get some decent minutes. CD Osman, I don't mind. And then we kind of get to the cheaper range where I like a guy like Danuel House a good amount. But yeah, that's why I'm going with more mid-tier build, just because I don't think there's a lot of like really great value on the slate. So yeah, I think again it's kind of like CD. I think you look at like Justin Holiday, CD Osman, or Danwell House. For large field GPPs, Giannis projected 30%, Luka 37%. Scary fades for sure. Yeah, I don't have either, and I don't feel great about it. Like I'm very scared. I think both those guys will be really good if the game stays close. I'm just banking on my other plays getting me there. Like a guy like Sabonis, I think goes a bit lower owned. Miles Turner, I think might be a bit more popular, but like Westbrook, I think Westbrook goes really low owned, but I love that price on him. So I'm banking on my mid-tier guys getting there. Hopefully Giannis and Luka Doncic don't go crazy. Now, I'm not saying to fade Doncic and Giannis. I think both those guys are really good plays. So definitely, if you have them in your lineup, don't let me talk you off them. It's just not going to be the way that I go, but I'm scared that I don't have either in them. LMA smashes Dallas, just one of those things. Doesn't always happen 8 times out of 10. I got to play him with 7.3. Yeah, he would be the one guy I would play in the Spurs, but I like other plays in that price range a bit more. Russ and Baines or Fred VanVleet and Turner already have Sabonis. I still think you can go Fred VanVleet and Turner. I think like the Pacers, it's just a great spot against the Nets, and there's no Brogdon, there's no Jeremy Lamb, there's a lot of usage to go around it, so I think the bigs can crush it. I think Sabonis and Turner can both get you there at those prices, so I think I'd go Fred VanVleet and Turner. OG could be a good play, lots of minutes. Could be. What's his price at? 4.6K. He had a down game in that first game back. Yeah, I think he's playable as a cheap option at 4.6K. Yeah, you needed someone at 4.6K, so yeah, I think OG is definitely playable for sure. Paul or Bledsoe. I think Bledsoe has a bit more upside, but I do like the price in Chris Paul. Trey Lyles or Pirtle. Again, no one I'm super excited about on that Spurs side, but let's see their prices. Jakob Pertl's at 3.8. Trey Lyles is at 3.8 as well. Give me Trey Lyles, but I really don't feel great about it. Tice or Osman. I think Tice is probably a bit safer just because he's a big and bigs have higher floor. But I think I'm going to take a shot on Osman. Again, I don't feel great on taking a shot on CD Osman. I'm just kind of banking on he'll be better with no Kevin Love. So TJ Warren or Randall. I think Randall for sure for cash. I think Warren is viable for GPPs, but I definitely like Randall more than TJ Warren. Markkanen or Covington. Yeah, I'd go Markkanen, I guess, but both are definitely viable in the mid-range. Who do you like on FanDuel? Well, I don't really play on FanDuel, but if you have any questions on FanDuel, I can definitely ask, or you can definitely ask. I heard on FanDuel that Aaron Holiday is like really, really cheap, so I would probably play him if he's at like a really, really cheap price. How do you feel about Batum over Bridges? Batum played more minutes than Bridges. Again, not super, super high on the Charlotte guys. 4.3K. Batum's like a lower usage guy. Can he get you there? Sure. It's just everyone's healthy, so I just don't feel great about the secondary option. So I don't think we have to go there. I would probably slightly lean towards Bridges, but again, I don't feel great about those secondary Hornets pieces. Thoughts on Batum? Not super high on. I think that I don't think those minutes are necessarily secure, and again, everyone's healthy, so I just don't think we have to go there. Thoughts on this rolling it with Westbrook, Luka, House Jr., Sabonis, Turner, Hood, Portis, Thompson? Got to risk it with Hood and Portis. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's not a whole lot of great value plays, so I don't mind that at all. Luka is going to be really popular. Again, I'm fading him, and I'm really scared about it, but I like that. I'm 50% Giannis and Luka because floor, ceiling combo, and I want slightly overweight this field. Yeah, that's a good option. Like I said, Giannis and Luka are very, very safe options at their price points. I think both those guys can crush. I'm just hoping like both those guys don't put up like 70 to 80 fantasy points. If like Luka gets like 50 and Giannis gets like 60, I'm perfectly fine with that. But if they have like their upside game, I'm probably going to lose. Sabonis and Turner in the same lineup is scaring me. So I have that. It's a great spot against Brooklyn. We want to target bigs against Brooklyn. Both these guys are going to play like 35 plus minutes in a close game. And there's no Brogdon, there's no Jeremy Lamb. So their offense is going to be give the ball to the bigs, right? So I do like both of them. I'm not saying you have to play them both, but yeah, if you don't feel great about it, then just play one. Like play Miles Turner. He's going to be a lot more popular. go somewhere else. Like, you don't have to go Sabonis. Just that's what I'm liking on the slate. My sneaky play of the night is Satoransky, 35 plus at 4.9K. Yeah, so he's someone I wasn't really super high on. I think I like the other Bulls a bit more with like Levine, Markkanen, and Wendell Carter Jr., but he can get you there at 4.9K. He has flashed a bit of upside, so don't mind that. I think, again, he goes really low owned. TJ Warren or Oubre. I'm going to go TJ Warren there, but that's more for GPPs. Point guard Aaron Holiday, 4.1. Yeah, so I think at 4.1K in FanDuel, Aaron Holiday is a really, really solid play. Lillard going to go off tonight? I think so. I got Lillard in my lineup. I like him at the discounted price. It's a great spot against Houston. And Lillard always just seems to step it up in the big games. So I do like Lillard a good amount. Porzingis versus Aldridge matchup. I mean, if you're going to make me pick between those two, I'm going to lean towards Porzingis, but both are definitely viable. FanDuel, Aaron Holiday, 4,100. Yeah, so I think Holiday is definitely viable. Play 2 Holidays. You can. That's not something I'm going to do just because I'm playing Sabonis and Turner. I don't want to have the whole starting lineup in my lineup, but I think the Holidays are both viable for sure. Again, Aaron Holiday on FanDuel seems like a really good play there, 4.1K. Thoughts on Kevin Porter? He's starting for Kevin Love. A bit unknown. We don't know what the minutes are going to be like, so I think he's okay. Again, I think Tristan Thompson's the top play. The secondary pieces for the Cavs, no one I feel great about. It's really kind of Tristan Thompson, and then, I mean, like Sexton's a bit score independent, not super high on him. Clarkson off the bench, don't mind it. C.D. Osman, I'm banking on he has a big game, so don't mind him. Like Kevin Porter Jr. is okay. I think these are guys, like Kevin Porter Jr. is a guy you consider if you're going more stars than scrubs. So if you're playing like Luka and Giannis, then you consider him. But with my build, I'm going towards more mid-tier, so I'm not really considering that guy, or Kevin Porter, but I think he's playable for sure. LeBron or Melo in season long. Coach urged Sando to shoot more after last game. I think he's coming up aggressive tonight. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be really low owned, so don't mind that at all. Lillard over McCollum, or should I use both? So when they're similarly priced, I always give the edge towards Lillard, and they are like only like $1,000 discount. So I'm going to slightly lean towards Lillard, but if you want to take the discount on CJ, you can. Should you play both? I think I would only play both if you're playing it as a game stack, and that's definitely viable. Like that's going to be a lot of points for in this one. So you could definitely play Lillard and CJ together and like run it back with either Westbrook or Harden, one of those two guys, and then like maybe Daniel House is a cheap option and do kind of like that. So I think I would do that as part of a GPP game stack. If you're playing it for cash games, I would not play both. Play CD and Tristan. So I really like Tristan. CD's a guy that I currently have in, but man, I really don't feel great about it. It's like him or Justin Holiday that I'm considering for that last spot. He's just a last spot guy that I'm considering, and I'm hoping that he can step up his game with no Kevin Love. We'll see. It's a pretty good matchup, but I don't feel really confident about it. I think Daniel House is probably my favorite value play at 3.7K. But again, the value is a bit tricky on the slate. No one I'm like super, super high on. Hood goes off. What's Hood's price? Let's see. He's at 4.7. Again, a good matchup. So he's viable. I liked it more when he was in that like below 4K range, but he's playable. I think I'd only go there as part of a game stack, though. Let's see if we got any more news. Raptors start Van Fleet, Powell, Anunoby, Siakam, Gasol. Yeah, so don't be about our same starting lineup. RJ Barrett and GPPs, yeah. I think one or two of RJ Barrett, Marcus Morris, and Randall will probably have a pretty solid game. So you can definitely go there. DeJounte Murray or Aaron Holiday. I think Aaron Holiday's the cash game play, while DeJounte Murray's a GPP play just because he's limited in minutes. So Sabonis and Turner together in the same line. I currently have that. Now, I think that's going to be contrarian for sure. I think everyone's going to play Tristan Thompson and Miles Turner. So I think Sabonis goes a bit forgotten about. But man, I really like that price. So I have both in. And I think that's a contrarian build tonight, just because I think everyone's going to try to get Luka in, and a lot of people are trying to get Giannis in. So I think Sabonis goes a bit forgotten about. Tice, Kleber, Frank the Tank, or RHJ. I think go Tice there of those four, I guess. A Koji's game time decision, yeah, so we're still waiting on that. Does Sampson get run tonight for Indiana? Not enough for you to consider. He was someone that was getting minutes because Turner was out, but with Turner back, both him and Sabonis will get Probably 35 plus in a close game. Well, someone on Twitter asked about Musa for the Nets at 3.6. A viable, cheap option, right? Like, if he gets like 30 minutes, I think he's okay. So, another guy you can consider, but it's just the value on the slate. There's no one like really, really like great plays, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm excited for the NFL Showdown slate. I don't know if you guys are playing that one. Chiefs Chargers. That'll be a fun one to watch too. So I'm probably gonna flip back and forth between the Rockets, Trailblazers game, and then the football game, just because that's gonna be an exciting game to watch. Whoops. Do like Little? Not really. Like, again, these are guys I would consider if I'm going more that stars and scrubs approach. He did play 32 minutes in that last game, but he's a very, very low usage guy. I think he's playable if you're going with that stars and scrubs approach, like him. What's his name for the Cavs as well? Where is he at? Kevin Porter Jr. Like those guys, I would consider if I was doing the stars and scrubs build. So if you guys are doing that build, those guys are viable. I wouldn't feel great about it, but they allow you to get Giannis and Doncic in your lineup. So, yeah, they're playable for sure. Zubac, Worth, I think that's more of just a GPP play, and I think maybe only for the late night. Like, I just like other centers more. Tristan Thompson, Miles Turner, and Whiteside. So, Zubac's a guy I think I'd only consider in the late slate if I'm doing that. Dinwiddie is a lock, right? Deion Yelder's the play. Yeah, so Yelder is a guy that will get the backup run for Kansas City if his tight end get. So I think he's worth the dart throw. Dinwiddie's a lock. I don't say lock button anymore, but he's a very, very good play at 6K. What does the M with a square around it mean? New to Draftkings. The M with a square around it. I think that's multi-entry, I believe. I'm pretty sure that means multi-entry tournament, so you can enter it more than one time. OG Anunoby at 4.6K, 35 to 40 point upside. Yeah, so I think OG is actually a pretty solid play. He had a bad game that last time out, but normally we'll play like 30 to 35 minutes, and he has flashed a bit of upside. It's a good spot. So I actually do kind of like OG. I'm getting talked onto him more, but I think he's a pretty solid play there at 4.6K. I'm fading Giannis. I'm scared, though. Yeah. So I'm fading Giannis and Luka, and that could be my downfall, right? I don't feel great about fading either of those guys. Both those guys can crush. If Leonard plays George, can he do 50 points in limited time? No. If Kawhi Leonard plays, I don't think Paul George can get 50. So that's a tricky situation where, again, if you're making multiple lineups, I think you throw Paul George in one just because he's going to go a bit lower owned, so you probably won't get the Kawhi news until like way after lock. Justin Holiday or Koji. Koji's currently listed as questionable, so right now I'll go Justin Holiday, but Justin Holiday, a very low usage guy. It is a good spot, though. Multi-entries. Yeah, multi-entries. Okay. You like Warren? I think Warren's very viable for GPPs. Again, I have Miles Turner and Sabonis in my lineup, so I don't want to go crazy with my Indiana exposure, but I do like him as a GPP play. OJ, great buy low play. Exactly. Like, you guys know I like buying low on guys. He had a bad game last time out, but the price is pretty low. I always appreciate the streams, man. Thanks, man, and good luck. Yeah, of course, Rhythm Beast. Good luck, man. Let's win some money. I really appreciate these lives, man. Thank you so much. Of course, guys. I love doing these. Love helping you guys out. Love the NBA. So, really like doing these live streams. Westbrook, Turner, or Whiteside, Donovan Mitchell. I'm gonna go Westbrook, Turner there, but I do like both options a lot. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Westbrook, Turner just because I have them both in my lineup. But I do like Whiteside and Donovan Mitchell too. So that's a really close call. But I'm gonna go Westbrook, Turner. I wish that last game wasn't part of the slate. Exactly. Like, it's a tricky spot. I think a lot of those guys will go really low owned, so I don't think you have to worry about it. But if you're making multiple lineups, again, I think you throw Paul George in one, because if Kawhi misses, I think he could definitely crush that salary. Scal, don't think we have to go there. The minutes just aren't high enough on him right now. He played, what? He's going to play probably 15 or so minutes, so just don't think we have to do it on this slate. Yeah, we got 1 minute till lock. I think Holiday is a steal at point. Aaron Holiday, yeah, I mean both Holidays are definitely viable. I do like, again, I like a lot of the Indiana Pacers. I think all 5 of the starters are very viable. Dinwiddie, Temple, Harris, Prince, Allen is the starting lineup for the Nets. That's what we were thinking it was going to be. You helped me win many times, LOL. Thanks. Of course, man. That's great to hear. Like I said, I love doing this, so I'm glad I can help you guys out. Sorry, I still am a bit under the weather, or just kind of have a cold, so that's why I'm kind of sniffly. Yeah, we can go over. Did I play anyone in the early game? Let's see. Early game was Cavs Knicks. Yeah, so I did play. I played both Tristan Thompson and Osman. Obviously, Tristan Thompson's going to be the chalk. I don't feel great about CD Osman. I'm just hoping that he can have a good game with no Kevin Love. I'm going to try to see if I can get some ownership on these guys. And then I can get off here. Let's eat, family. Yeah, let's make some money, guys. This is an interesting slate. Again, there's a lot of different ways you can go, but Prince, sneaky. Torian Prince, yeah. I mean, he does have upside with no Kyrie Irving. He's a guy that, he's put up like 40, 50 fantasy points this year, right? Yeah, he's put up 50 fantasy points 40 fantasy points another night. So he does have some upside. And with no Kyrie Irving, that's just a lot of usage to go around. And everyone's going to go Dinwiddie. So if you want a contrarian pivot, I don't mind Torian Prince, or you can play them both together. Tristan, 60%. I mean, that's kind of what I consider. Tristan Thompson he's a really solid player with no Kevin Love, right? Like, he's probably worth that ownership in my opinion. Let me see what they are in the tournament. So in the big $8 NBA tournament, we got Tristan Thompson at 56%. I got CD at 14%. I don't hate it. Again, CD is a guy I don't feel great about, but I'm just hoping he can have a big game with no Kevin Love out. In the the $55 tournament that I entered, Tristan Thompson's at 70% and CD Osman's at 18%. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, CD can give me at least like 20 to 25. I'd be happy with that. I will message you on Twitter. Oh yeah, of course, man. I want Harden, Doncic, Anunoby, House, Cantor, Teague, Osman, Turner. Yeah, I like that. Like I said, you want more stars and scrubs approach, but Harden, I think, goes a lot lower owned in the slate. So I don't mind that as a contrarian play at all. Again, I think Doncic will be really popular. I think Giannis will get some ownership. I think Harden actually goes a bit under the radar. So whenever you can get a low on Harden, that's always a good thing. So yeah, I do like him. Tristan Thompson, 45%. You fading Phillip Rivers, he's just going to dump off to the running backs. Then Kansas City run D is weak. I'm not. I like the price in Phillip Rivers. I'm playing both quarterbacks, and I'm playing I have Andre Patton in my lineup. Again, I'm taking a shot there just because it opens up so much. So, let's see. Yeah, I have both quarterbacks in there, and I have Andre Patton just because it opens up, allows me to get other guys. So, I played both with 3 Pacers. Yeah, I like a lot of the Pacers tonight. I had the law offices of Tristan and Osman in my lineup too, LOL. Hey, let's hope it works out, man. I think Tristan's pretty safe, but CD I'm a bit worried about. We'll see. Thanks for the insights, DK. Always appreciate it. Good luck tonight. Yeah, good luck, man. Kevin Porter, 16%. Yeah, so I can look at some other ownerships here. Let's see what else is in the $55 tournament, if anyone else is even owned. Mitchell Robinson is 9%. Again, he's just so up and down in foul trouble that I just don't feel great about that. Kevin Porter, 43% cash. So again, that I think that kind of tells you what people are going with tonight. I think a lot of people are going stars and scrubs if he's that high owned. Because with him being that high owned, I think Doncic is going to be really popular, and same with Giannis. So that kind of tells you how people are building their lineups. Again, I'm going more mid tier, so I'm going more contrarian. But yeah, like I said, I don't think Kevin Porter is a bad play. He allows you to get those stars in the lineup. Let's see. I'm trying to see. RJ Barrett's 8% in this tournament. Jordan Clarkson's 8%. So no one's at super high. I'm trying to find Kevin Porter's ownership in this in the $55 GPP just to see what it looks like. I made a stars and scrubs, a balanced line, a contrarian line. We shall see. Okay, Tristan 18%, FanDuel $7. Rivers will be on his back half the game. Yeah, he's been not so good. The offensive line has been not so good either, but I'm just banking on there's going to be a lot of points scored in that one. So Zizic is 3% owned. Let's see. I can't find Kevin Porter in at least the $55. I'm interested to see what he's at. A lot of guys have Tristan. Again, I'm seeing Jordan Clarkson a decent amount. C.D. Osman. I can't find Kevin Porter. Let's see. Chiefs defense, Sean. So the defenses I'm avoiding on a very high over-under game. Oh, here's Kevin Porter Jr. So Kevin Porter Jr. in the $55 tournament is 26% owned. Rivers overthrowing receivers only enhances the elevation. Yes, so. Okay, but yeah, that's kind of it, guys. So I think I'm going to hop off here. Again, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, that is important to do so. I'll give my thoughts as we get more news throughout the night. Pacers starters, Aaron Holiday, Justin Holiday, Warren Sabonis, Miles Turner. Yep, so we already knew that. Andrew Wiggins rolled out. Again, we kind of knew that as well. But thanks again for coming to check out the live stream, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll have my video up for the NBA slate for Tuesday. I think it's a 4 or 5 game slate. I'll have that up later tonight, so be on the lookout for that. But thanks again, guys. I really do appreciate it. Good luck, and I will see you tomorrow.